What is up, guys? Welcome back to another episode of Movement Perspective. I'm coming to you today from my car. It is the 1st of January, so let me start by saying, firstly, Happy New Year to everyone. My best wishes to you and your family, and I hope that 2026 brings you all the joy, all the happiness, and all the breakthroughs that you want in your life. It is currently 10:15 in the morning, 1st of January. I'm just after doing a sauna session here in Stradbally in my local town where I live. And it was a great way to start not just the day, but a great way to start into 2026. And I thought it was a good time to do a movement perspective episode. Over the course of 2026, I'm going to be much more consistent with these episodes. It's something that I really enjoy doing. I really enjoy hashing my thoughts out here on camera, sharing thoughts with you guys, how I think about movement, how I think about training, the human body, health in general, resilience, longevity, all these pillars of how I live my life, all these pillars of ancestral athlete, and ultimately how we bring about change in our bodies. And it's a good time to reflect, the start of a new year. You know, it's the health system out there in general, when it comes to rehab, when it comes to training, when it just comes to the state of human health in general, it's probably never been in a lower place than it is now globally overall. And I'm not here to try and solve the global crisis, but I'm here to play my part and help the people who I can help, based on my experiences and based on my expertise and based on what we're doing here at Ancestral Athlete. So in today's video, I want to talk about change. And it's the 1st of January, everyone's on the new year, new me buzz, all that stuff. People are going to be super motivated. But what I want to talk about is how the body changes and how do you bring about permanent change and transformation. Because 12-week transformations, 8-week transformations, put any time frame on it. These are great. These are really good things because it gives you a goal, it gives you a time frame, and it gives you something to move and work towards. However, that has been long proven to be not very successful for people in the long run. So what I mean there is, okay, if you've done a 12-week transformation program, if I come back to you in 12 years' time, where are you at? Or even in 12 months' time, where are you at? Because most people will get on the train, they'll get on the buzz, they'll go hell for leather in the beginning. But then when, the program's over, when maybe the little bit of guidance isn't there anymore, or maybe when the motivation just wanes a little bit, we default back into our regular patterns, we default back into what we're used to doing. And the reality is, permanent transformation and change in your body and the things you do for your body, that requires time, it requires discipline, it requires consistency. And that's more difficult in the beginning. Okay, that 12-week period, for example, you can put on a very hard push, and it takes effort, it takes time, it takes focus. But then when you're gearing yourself up for a 12-week transformation, or this 12-week block of whatever you set yourself out for, when you reach the end of that, do you say, there's the 12 weeks, I either achieved or didn't achieve my goal? Or do you, after that 12 weeks, stop, reevaluate and say, okay, what's next? How do I continue? How do I go to the next level? What's the next step for me here? And how do you integrate that into your life? Because the only way real change happens is with integration into your life. It doesn't happen through gearing yourself up for a couple of weeks and following a program. Like I said, that's a really good place to start, and having structure, guidance, accountability, all that stuff is extremely important for a lot of people to achieve what they want, and it can streamline that process for you. But ultimately, how are you bringing about change in your life? If you want life-changing results, you need to change your life, and not just for 12 weeks. You need to change your life for life. And when it comes to movement, that's how we approach it. Okay, at Ancestral Athlete, that's how we approach it. Because for me personally, all those years ago when I was struggling with injuries, when I was having dislocated shoulders, tearing muscles all the time, hamstrings, groins, hip flexors, all these things that were plaguing me in my career as an athlete, I was constantly going for the quick fix. I was constantly going for, okay, give me the program, give me, okay, it's a hamstring strain, it's great, whatever. Yeah, that's a 6-week thing. That's a 6-week rehab process, and then go back to the same thing. But I never change things permanently. I never built on what I was doing. I never understood why these things were happening in the first place. And it wasn't until I did, and wasn't until I started looking at my life and saying, okay, number one, my priority physically in my body is to feel good. I don't want to be in pain every day. I don't want to second guess doing certain movements in the gym. I don't want to second guess going for that run. I don't want to spend 30 minutes warming my body up and prepping myself just to go move and do something that I should ordinarily enjoy. I don't want that in my life. I want to feel good every day. I'm not looking for perfection, but I don't want to be in pain every day. I don't want to have pain doing tasks and activities in my life that bring me joy, because that's a burden on me. And this is the decision I made to bring about that change. And when I made that decision, everything else became easier. I started changing my training. I started inputting more movement and routines and decompression work and mobility work into my daily life. I started to find opportunities to do things that would carry me closer towards being pain-free every single day. Doesn't mean I'm a human. It doesn't mean that I'm perfectly fine every day and I never have a little discomfort, or I never feel like I should take a day off, or something is kind of like aching me because I've sat in the car for 8 hours on a long drive or something. It's not about that. It's about, what is the 99% of the time? How does my body feel? Am I happy? Am I staying true to what it is that I want? And that's what real change is. And when you make that change and you reinforce that change and you design your life around optimizing your health in the way that you want, in the ways that are important to you, then it becomes effortless. Everything becomes effortless. People will think that some of the things I may do or Veronica may do is extreme when it comes to our nutrition, when it comes to our sleep, when it comes to our training, whatever aspect of health you want. But for us, it's effortless because we don't have to think about it. We're not having to force ourselves to do it. We've actually conditioned our bodies to enjoy doing those things, and we've integrated them into our life with different ways of doing it. And you find ways of doing that. And that's ultimately what health is. You need to bring about that change. Otherwise, you're constantly depending on someone else. And otherwise, you're constantly in the cycle of never truly making the change. You're just going through cycles of, I feel better, I feel shit again. I feel a bit better, I think things are okay, and then I feel shit again. And that's not sustainable, and that is not true transformation, and that is not true health. You have to live health, and you have to live in the way that you believe best serves you. Lead by example, do what's right for you, prioritize your longevity in your training, your health, your movement, etc. So the takeaway from all of this today, because I've kind of touched on a lot of different things outside of just movement today, but this all fits into the movement perspective. Movement was the catalyst for me personally to transforming my health, my life, and my body. And the big takeaway from today is change, real change in your life requires that you make a change in your life. And making a change in your life is difficult in the beginning, but once you find meaning in it, once you know your purpose behind why you're doing it, and then be consistent over weeks, months, years, integrating healthy habits into your life, returning to a simpler way of health where you take control, that is what will bring about ultimate change for you now in 2026 and beyond. And it's what takes you off that hamster wheel, that constant cycle of every single year needing to say, okay, now I'm going to sort myself out. I need to sort myself out. I know I should stop doing that, but you just don't stop doing that, the thing that's maybe not serving you. This is your chance, and this is your incentive. Go and do it. Trust me, stick with the process. Be true to yourself, stay consistent, and you will bring about change in 2026. In your health, in your life, in every aspect of your life. Okay, and that's ultimately why we're all here. We want to do the best for ourselves, but the more you really change how you view yourself and bring about a new version of yourself, you'll never make that permanent change. So that's it for today, because we're going to go beyond the times that I'd set out for these videos. Let me know your thoughts below. This is very important for all aspects of change and transformation you want to make in your health. But if you want to make a wholesale change, and if you want to optimize every aspect of your health and constantly work towards becoming better and better, this is the way. All right. Let me know your thoughts below, guys. Really curious to hear. Like I said, we're going to be much more consistent with these videos on various different topics throughout the year. So let me know in the comments below if there's something you'd like me to talk on and speak about and share my experiences and thoughts on different strategies and tools for certain aspects of health, movement. But that's it, guys. Let me know. Hope you have a great day. Let's go get 2026, and I'll chat to you very soon.